What's up, guys? Welcome to Crypto Cartel. We're going to be doing live analysis on the crypto market, looking for the next 100x SUI meme coins. And yeah, bringing you guys some alpha, bringing you guys some edge. My name's Henry. I've been doing crypto, I guess, 5 years now. Been working professionally in crypto now around 2 years. And yeah, this show is basically about the alpha. So I won't babble on too much. Alex, you want to go ahead and get into Bitcoin?
Yeah, let's do it, guys. So, as I said yesterday, if you guys watched the stream, we had a nice rebounds from that support region. Again, let's just zoom out a little bit for the macro level. As you can see, guys, we are hitting support here, and we've bounced off support. Again, I talked to you guys. I told you guys. I told Henry about this. We were talking about it. It's the same thing with Total 3. Total 3 is altcoins overall. Total 2 is ETH and altcoins, and Total 1 is all of crypto. For those of you that don't know, so as mentioned,
Total 3 excludes Bitcoin and ETH.
And ETH,
right?
Yeah, that's right. So remember, I told you guys to pack some bags or start DCAing. We did bounce off of that, and we're coming out again. I do foresee potentially another little drop, so that may be your second chance to get in your alts before we start ripping. Just to get into the 4-hour time frame. One of the things that I see right now, there's a lot of bullish divergence here on the 4-hour, which is a signal for me. It's a bounce 1, 2, 3, making a higher high on the RSI, and we got that boom to the upside. That was about $2,000 move, about 3%. So when we start zooming in a little bit, one of the things that I can see is, we're making a bull here. So this could potentially play out as a cup and as a shoulder, head and shoulder to the upside. There you go. So I would be looking into these regions to maybe start DCAing. Again, we can't break these lower lows. For the weekly, I want to see us, stay above this area. But overall, like I said, it's looking bullish. Yeah, keep an eye out on that. Same thing with Total 3. We're sustaining levels, and make sure you guys are packing the bag. So by next week, like we talked about yesterday, we should be going to the upside. So that's the analysis for Bitcoin and Total 3. Henry?
Yeah, it's we had some big news today, so I'm going to talk about that. Some big data come out, specifically on the jobs market. So basically, since the Fed cut, the focus has really shifted from inflation to the job market, right? Do you see my screen, by the way?
Yep.
So, and not even since the Fed cut, basically leading up into the cut, the focus is now on the job market, because we know the Fed has done hiking. We know the Fed is now in the easing part, right? Now they're trying to land the plane. They want to land the economy without causing a recession, because rates are still pretty high. They're still restrictive. And now the focus has shifted to the job market. And the job market is really what's going to tell us whether we're in a recession and whether, markets can continue to do well, because what we need is the Fed to cut and the economy to stay strong. So basically, that would tell us that the Fed didn't wait too long to cut rates and didn't inadvertently cause a recession, because that's what every time rate hikes have happened in the past, that's what happens. And today we had really extremely strong payrolls, U.S. job market screaming no recession anywhere in sight. And Alex Kruger is saying, unless something terrible happens in the Middle East, U.S. equities will start making all-time highs soon. And I think that's what you're seeing today. This, with this, it's a 1% move, but nevertheless, it's a good reaction, right? To this news, because now we know that the Fed, now we're not worried about recession because the job market is so strong, essentially. Now you got to take that with a grain of salt, because all the job markets numbers have essentially been revised Biden is essentially cooking the books, and they always get revised lower. But still, I think it's this one that compares what the expectations were to the actual news today. I think the expectations were 147K. Uh, yeah, the U.S. economy adds 254,000 jobs in September, above expectations of 140,000, 147,000. So that's a big beat, right? And you see the unemployment rate; it's now come down to 4.1%, below expectations of 4.2%. And this is really good. People are even asking now: was the 50 basis point cut too aggressive? No, I don't think it was, because the Fed didn't have this data when they made that decision. And now the next question is, what's going to happen at the next Fed meeting, right? And you might be saying, hold up, like I thought this was a stream about about SUI meme coins. Well, it is, but we need the backdrop of everyone feeling rich, Bitcoin, being stable. That's what breeds the speculation, and that's kind of the setting the table, right, for the shit coinery we're about to get into. So you can see today now the expectations for a 25 basis point cut, 90%. So people are still expecting a cut at the next meeting, but I think it was much higher for a 50 basis point cut, right? And I think that's all good developments. Bitcoin is reacting from it, and I think I have one more thing about this. The print, the non-farm payrolls print is positive despite the XY rally. Reduces uncertainty around recession. The issue with the recession is that it makes the bottom decile of outcomes much worse than it would be otherwise. So risk assets, this is good for risk assets, is what I'm saying. And with that being said, I'm just going to take another look at Bitcoin. I have this flag drawn out. It's crazy. Some people don't believe in TA. Some people say it's astrology for men. But look at how Bitcoin just bounced perfectly off this like midline, right? I don't know why it works. I'm not going to question why, but we're in. To me, this is really bullish. Like we've reclaimed this midline. We've made a higher high. Now in the process of making a higher low. Like I'm not going to get too ahead of myself, but it tells me I can go a little more risk on, which is why we're going to look into meme coins essentially, because that's as risky as it can get. But if you're able to position now, and Bitcoin continues to go up, meme coins are going to go absolutely crazy, right? So not sure if you had anything to add there, Alex.
No, like I said, I mean, the analysis that we've shown yesterday and today is basically saying the same thing, right? We're looking bullish. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing, maybe a possible wick to 58K, but highly doubt it. But if we do, make sure to add on.
Yeah, that would be an opportunity, I think, especially after today. Like that is even if it gets revised down, like how much are they going to revise it down? It could get revised down 100,000 job openings and still meet expectations, right? So really, I think a surprise that markets weren't expecting, a positive surprise. And so that basically tells me we're risk on and we can comfortably start aping meme coins. That's what that means. And so the first one I'm going to get into is not even on SUI, but I thought it was an interesting one. Everyone kind of knows Ansem at this point. He's become like a main character in crypto Twitter, and pretty solid trader, solid caller. You got to be careful with his buying his things, because sometimes his calls, could create a top just because so many people FOMOing in. But he tweeted this, right? Like the famous whiff hat. It says Kobe whiff hat. This was 11 p.m. mine time yesterday. So I'm like, this is interesting. And I take a look here. It's this Kobe cute dog toy looking thing. They got clothes going, typical meme coin BS. But again, Ansem's got the attention. He's got the impressions. Over 200,000 impressions on this. So I personally took a punt Um, just when I saw it, just a small little gamble in case it becomes something. But yeah, I wanted to see if you want to take a look, Alex. Like what I am seeing with
Yeah.
this is
Yeah, let's do it.
basically it's this giga candle here is obviously when Ansem tweeted, but what I'm looking to see is if it's gonna hold above this all-time high, this previous all-time high run up here, right? And I'd say to me, this is still looking bullish. Like we haven't really retested. Um, well, I guess we have a new fib here, but we
That's
haven't
right.
really retested much, right? Like I could see this retesting exactly here, the point 0.5, and maybe from there taking off, or I could just see it going now because if you zoom in on the hourly, this is around when Ansem tweeted it, goes up like 5x. You got some like initial profit taking here, and now you're essentially forming this flag, and you're looking to see a break of this flag, right?
Yeah.
So,
This was a runner.
so I'm looking for like a quick double up here, and we'll see after that how volume's looking. How if the main thing when a big account like Ansem shows it, you want him to keep shilling. Like it needs to be, it can't be just a one time thing. And yeah, that's the first meme that I thought I'm kind of bullish on. High risk, definitely high risk. Everything's high risk, but this one's even
Yeah.
more high risk because usually you're seeing a peak in attention and volume when someone like that tweets it. But I'm kind of betting on that it's not done doing its thing. But definitely manage your risk here. Um, yeah, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna go into a few, about 2 to 3 meme coins, including this one. I'm gonna show something very interesting that I found. But
Nice.
let
Okay, go
me.
for it.
All right. Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, just like you said, I mean, look at that. We had that accumulation section here, and then we just ripped off that tweet. What I can see is exactly, like you said, off that zero point 0.5 rebounds. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we lose some traction and we go ahead and we hit like the 786 to kind of retest this one before we rip again. But overall, I mean, it's a good coin. Market cap's at 9 million, and what's very interesting to me, it's got about 5,000 holders. So I can still see some potential, you know, downside. But again, like you said, we could bounce off of the 0.5 on the fib. But similar to this, I also found this other coin called W Dog. So it's a Wrap Dog, also in Solana. It's got
Yeah,
this.
I saw some people tweeting about this one. Definitely had some traction
Yeah, and what's
earlier.
interesting, and I'll show you guys, it's got a similar pattern. We have that support region right here, and it's almost like a flag before it rips, right? So
Can you make
also,
your chart a little bigger?
yeah, of course. Keep in mind that this one's also live on CoinX and on MEXC. So this one's already got it's already on exchanges. So it wouldn't surprise me with this thing if this thing ripped. But look at this. It's kind of the same thing as we see Kobe, right? It
Yeah.
hit the high, and now it's doing the sideways action off of a tweet. I mean, this thing could go crazy off some news. If you look at the 1 day, let's see. 1 day is not looking too great, but the 4 hour and the 12 are looking really good. There's a lot of bullish divergence there. But yeah, quickly, I just want to show you guys. Look at this one. So this is Rob Dog, and this is Kobe. There's a lot of similarities, right? So it's just something to keep in mind that Rob Dog could do something like this.
Wait, go
Rob,
to Rap. Yeah, let's go to
yeah,
Rap Dog and then go to Kobe.
yeah. Hold on. So this one has 9K holders, which is a big difference. So people have been accumulating Rap Dog as opposed to Kobe, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys.
It's like
This is
almost the same chart.
literally almost the same chart, right? So keep this in mind if you guys want to, not financial advice, but if you guys want to ape, this is looking very similar, and it just goes ham from here. So Yeah, that's one of our calls we're gonna have. So we're gonna keep track of that for the next few days. Then I want to talk about Doji, right? Not the regular Doji, but the Department of Government Efficiency, right? And one of the things that I want to point out on this one, we are at about a 15 million market cap with about 6,000 holders. Okay, and one of the interesting things is, as we've talked about in the past, if Doge, if Trump gets elected and he has Musk on his side, this is going to rip either way. So we've been making higher highs on this. There's a sweet, resistance region here, but to be honest with you, I don't see this going any lower. I see this, going to making all-time highs, really.
What's
So
the market cap?
15 mil.
And when did it come out?
This one came out in August 20th or sometime in August.
Around like a month, basically.
Yeah, and it's looking very bullish. I mean, it's one of those coins that will rip as soon as we hear news from Trump and Musk. But Musk has been tweeting Doji or D.O.G.E plenty of times. So this one has tons of potential to rip. Getting closer to the elections. And then my last one, this one's on Blast. Andy. I've been keeping an eye on Andy for quite some time. This one may or may not do some work, but I want to share, what the potential could be on this one. Last all-time high we had was back in, that's disgusting. We hit as high as 68 cents, right? And then currently we're at 5 cents. I doubt we can get that high again. I mean, that would be a 10x from here, but this could potentially, have some returns, maybe like a 5 to 10x. Just because the setup is good. We have bullish divergence, so this is one I'm going to keep my eye out on. I don't know. I'm not as bullish on Blast ecosystem, but if we're looking at memes in general, I think overall, Tron ecosystem, SUI ecosystem, ETH, Solana, and then Blast and a bunch of these other ones could have a potential rip. Again, only on meme coins. I'm not bullish on anything else. But yeah, so that's what I have for the meme coins. Now we can get into the SUI. Do you want to add anything else?
So I like WDog. It's on Sol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess what WDog needs is some sort of catalyst, right? Like an Ansem or some big account, someone to bring it back to life, which I'm not as familiar with the people that show this one, but it's just something I think, all it needs is something like that, and this thing can be right back in price discovery. Doge, I think this is a good find. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's on ETH.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of may limit just how fast it gains traction. But I mean, the chart looks really bullish, and I like this meme of the Department of Government Efficiency, because Elon keeps tweeting about this, right? Because we know he loves to tweet about Doge. He's going to keep reminding people of this idea, keep bringing this to the forefront, attention to this meme. So I think this is a good find. And Andy, I'm not a believer in that one. I think I'd have to, and we're going to get into this a little bit with the SUI stuff that I'm going to cover. You have to anticipate flows, or you have to have some flow, right? You need some liquidity flowing into the ecosystem. And I mean, I haven't done my research on Blast, but I just don't know of any catalyst that's going to bring those flows in. But we can get into that in a bit here. So I'm going to take over, Alex.
All right. Yeah, you're not sharing your screen.
Okay. Let me know if you see it.
All right.
Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to quickly touch on why I'm bullish SUI in general. I was mentioning the flows. I think that's a big part of when you see a meme coin ecosystem really do well, start going parabolic, it's because you see flows. That's kind of what we saw with Solana at first, and then Tron most recently. So this guy Space Pixel says if you want PVE, player versus environment market, it's on SUI right now. Some of these coins are up only 10x in a week, and none of you have seen them on your timeline, which I agree with. Like very few people are. A lot of people are tweeting about SUI, right? SUI is a new talk of the town, but no one's tweeting about the meme coins yet. I think we're on the tipping point of that happening, and this is happening all over the place. So, and again, my thesis is the flows, right? So, SUI network has a higher net flows than Solana, again. So this is a reoccurring theme. Uh, that's really bullish, right? Like Solana is the highest growth chain so far this cycle, and SUI is now taking the throne a little bit. You know, not long term, but the past couple weeks. You also have Base. Like, who was expecting Base to be having flows again, right? Kind of died after the wallet launched. I think we'll probably do a deep dive on Base in the future, but this is kind of my thesis. Like, these guys have cracked. Are penetrating the market. They're getting people to come on their chain. They're getting people to bridge to the chain. And if you think about, just the user experience of why people like Solana. Oh, I think I skipped ahead here. Why people like Solana so much? It's because it's fast, right? And SUI network is just as fast. So you have the flows. You have good user experience, fast transactions, and just look at like the performance the past weeks of some of the meme coins, 70%, 50%, 30% in a week where Bitcoin is down, right? So what do you think of that thesis, Alex, of like following the money? Like, we're not first to the move, but I think we're still early enough to the trend where you can catch some of these as they're gaining more traction. What do you think of that?
No, I mean, I agree with you. It's kind of like what Sui's doing is what Base was doing a few months ago, right? There was a lot of outflows out of Solana going into Base, but Sui came in and, it's an EVM chain, and people like that, and they want to find, like we spoke yesterday, they want to find the next, Solana, right? So I think this is a great opportunity. If we're looking at the right now, what you're showing, any dip on Hippo, because Hippo is the runner of Sui, right? So any dip on Hippo would be, an automatic buy.
We're gonna get into these. So this is the top, some top 8 performance. I'm gonna tell you which ones I'm most bullish on, but we're gonna continue here. So if you think about how big memes could get, right? Like, this is how I like to start, of like top down. What's the total addressable market? Like, what's the upside for all of this? And memes, this is just memes on Solana. They have 8 billion market cap. Now, I think this is going to go a lot higher this cycle. I think this could go, I mean, realistically 50 billion, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this go 100 billion. And some of these top ones like Whiff, Bonk, Popcat, I wouldn't be surprised to see this in the tens of billions. Now, some of these have already made their move, right? Like, it's great to bet on these winners, but you'll probably get a 10, 20x, something like that. If you want the 50, 100x, I think you want to bet on Sui, maybe not getting to this, but closing the gap a bit. That's kind of my thesis. Like, flows continue. The meme market cap on Sui grows. And so now, if I have that thesis, I'm thinking, like, what are going to be the leaders? And that's what we're going to cover next. So what do you think, Alex? Do you think Sui's meme coin market cap could get into billions like this?
Absolutely. Right now, I was looking at the market cap, and yeah, I mean, we could see their leading. I could see their leading meme getting to 1 billion at least, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because you have 3 on Solana alone. You have 1 on Base. So if Sui really is the new Solana for the cycle, one of them is going to get to 1 billion, right? And we're going to try to figure out which one.
Absolutely.
Now, my 3. So I think this guy Noodles is a great follow. One of the sharper guys on crypto Twitter, and I was already bullish on FUD and Blub. I had already looked at AAA. We're going to get into what these are in a bit, but these are his three, and uh, the charts look pretty interesting. We're going to break these down for you guys, and I think there's like a consensus. If I see people, what the three that I keep seeing being repeated, it's Blub, FUD, and AAA, which is a like a cat. I don't even know how you say it, but and then this guy's comparing it to Blub's the Pepe, FUD is Bonk, and AAA is Popcat. And you're gonna see once we get into these, like why he's comparing them, because it does remind me of these. And this is another really solid meme coin trader, Mitch. Do you follow this guy, Alex?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's uh, definitely one of the better meme coin traders in the space. And this, I actually remember him saying like, I'm not gonna bridge off of Solana, and he didn't bridge to Tron, but now he's going into SUI, which is interesting. He bridged over 100K,
Oh wow.
and he bought the first one we're gonna look at is he bought a cat. So it's this thing a cat. I don't even know how to say it, but this chart is crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean that. I mean, what? So in about almost a week, it just did a 14x. That's insane.
Yeah, I saw this thing at a million, and I'm like, damn, I should have punted.
Was he shilling at 1 mil?
No, he just. I mean, he's not chilling. Like he just sent a screenshot. But this guy, he's got a lot of copy traders. Like people have found his wallets. With this guy just because he's got that wealth effect where if he picks a coin, people are gonna ape into it just because he picked it.
Yeah.
But I was bullish on it before. Or I wasn't bullish on it. I had heard of it, but now I see like someone like this getting in. I mean, you might think you're late. Like this. Let's see. This was in October 3rd.
Yeah, but it's
So
only an 8 million market cap, right?
exactly. So this guy got in like. I mean, he only got in at around 5 million, really,
We're yeah, that
and it's up. I mean,
you
it
know.
pumped 100%, 70% now, but I think this could be like the top cat meme on Sui. And it's in this crazy uptrend, right? I think if I were to look for an entry, I'd probably, because the price action is so aggressive and the momentum is so aggressive, I'd probably look for like to use these moving averages. Um, on something like the 4 hour, right? Like you can see this blue line, I got the wrong days here, but I like to use the 12 and the 25. And it's retesting. I mean, I think if you buy one of these retests, as long as it's holding this trend, you'll probably do all right. Maybe it has a big pullback, but again, I'm betting like this could become like a Popcat, right? Popcat's at a billion. I don't know if it could go there, but I think it could at least go to like if Sui continues to see the flows that it's seeing, maybe to 100 million, and who knows after that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's a funny meme. Like it's just this cat like going ah. I guess that's the meme. There's some sort of story here. So Sui name service apparently tweeted this. Can't
Oh
stop,
wow.
won't stop thinking about Sui, and someone made it into a meme. So that's one I think I'll probably be buying. What do you think of this one, Alex?
No, I like it. I mean, I like the what do we got? All right, so we're at 8.6 million. I mean, if we take a nice little dip, I think it's a heavy buy. You make a good point at being cats, right? And I think we've talked about this in the past. Cats will catch up to dogs, right? In terms of memes, right? So
They're going to close the gap. I don't know if they catch up. I think dogs will always be the biggest, but they're going to close the gap for sure.
then, I mean, yeah, then to me this one's guaranteed. And I mean, on top of that, we had Mitch tweet this at around 5 mil. He's gonna want to pump his back some more. So I wouldn't be surprised if this hits 100 mil. To be honest with you.
I think anything in like this region of, I mean, honestly, I'll probably buy some now. But
And
any
then just
dips
DCA
to like
later, right? Yeah.
6 or 5 million, I think you're sitting pretty with that. Like it's gonna, to me, it's gonna do something like this, like maybe pump more, and like go into like this, maybe some sideways, and just go crazy. That's my base case, but you never know with these things, right? It could just keep going right now, like some things do. So,
I mean, just to be honest, I might just sell some of my Wardy and just ape on this one because this one's looking good.
well, don't just ape yet because we have some more memes to look at. Yeah, this is the Twitter, um, followed by some KOLs, but not too many. You know, they can do this meme format with anything, right? So, um, and I like this comparison. Like, it's really simple. Like, it's the
Yeah.
Popcat of Sui, right? Everyone knows Popcat. It's got like, it gets like a halo effect from that, right? So the next one is FUD. Uh, Another one that I missed being early on, but I think we're still early in general. But not catching the Pico bottom. I think I sent this to you at 11 million, Alex.
Yep, I think so.
And this one, I think. Well, I'd love to get your take on this one because I think this one's a little trickier. It's always tricky when you see a meme early, and then it runs, and you're like, "Dang, I don't want to buy it higher," but I know it's still going to continue, right? Like, how do I get in? So I'll let you take this one, Alex.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll be honest with you. I don't. Um, in terms of
I think you got to take over the screen share.
yeah, yeah. So in terms of FUD, just the name and the whole thing, I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you. I know it's at a 32 million market cap, but we just have to see what has popped in this this year, at least in terms of memes, right? I think cats have been a big thing, and that comparison of a triple A with Popcat is a great comparison, right? Because then we're going to start comparing, right, SUI with Soul, and I think there is more relevance there. FUD in general, as a name, as a theme, I don't find it. This is my opinion, right? I don't find it as a big runner, maybe to like 50 mil or something like that. But other than that, I'm not a big fan of this one. I just want to go with the basics, right? Cats, dogs.
This is a dog. It's FUD the pug.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Look at
dude.
the
You gotta
website.
do your research on this stuff, man.
Uh,
So I'll tell you why I'm bullish because keep going,
BitGad
going
Next year.
down.
That's good. Yeah.
There's, I guess they changed their website. There's, oh no here, they might have changed their website, but basically FUD was kind of, if you remember Bonk, like how he got airdropped. Oh, there you go. There's the story. Like, you remember how Bonk got airdropped to everyone on Solana, and like Solana was dead, and Bonk starting to rip is like what brought the ecosystem back to life in the beginning, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this was a free airdrop to Sui, and it's been around since December 2023. Like, it's an OG meme on Sui before anything else was on there, any of this new stuff.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
that's kind of, remember the comparison of like AAA cat, Popcat, FUD is Bonk. It has some parallels to that story. That's why I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. How are the followers on this one? Do we have some
Go
big?
to yeah, just open up the Twitter. It's got, to me, it had the most. It had like 40 mutual followers. Like, it had the most mind share out of uh, all the different
Yeah,
sweet
this
memes that I looked
is
up.
actually really good. I mean, all
Those are
right.
all solid. Those are like solid follows.
Yeah.
Like Noodles, Anthem. It's not just
Right.
chillers, basically.
Nice. A juicy steak. Yeah. I mean, in terms of risk reward, I still like the risk reward on AAA. That's just me because it's still what below.
What do you think of that? Of like, where could we find an entry on? You think the
So
0.5?
entry on, let's see, entry on this one. Let's look at the 4 hour. hour. I mean, yeah, this one has gone crazy over the last few days or month. But here, let me pull out my RSI really quick. I mean, yeah, this is looking good. There's a lot of momentum.
So did I convince you that this is the bonk of SUI?
Yeah, you did. But I'm still going with the for me personally, I'm going with the low market cap. I just
Yeah.
like lower market caps in general, but it's one of the things that you did show was the fact that this one is from December. So this is the OG. You're right. This is absolutely the OG. Yeah. All right. So it's looking bullish. It seems like it doesn't want to. Yeah. No. That this could continue. This could continue to run.
Retest all-time high. I think that's a good place to punt for me.
Yeah.
It kind of already did retest, right?
Yeah, I did the retest. I mean, we could get a pullback if we start seeing BTC getting a pullback, which means SUI right now is also getting a pullback. They just did a bearish retest. So let's just say in terms of, okay, what if it does dip and we can find it at a lower level? I would see something like this. Let me make this bigger. So I could see this coming back to the 0.38. If we get lucky, maybe the 618. But I think
That
people
would
are
be
gonna,
great. I would buy.
yeah, people are going to eat this up very quickly. With that, yeah, I mean that kind of adds up there in terms of another dump. But I mean, it's got tons of momentum. I mean, we're still in the overbought region, but the 4 hour wants to continue to rip, and it doesn't care. The RSI keeps making higher. The stochastic RSI keeps making higher highs. So to me, that overall looks bullish. Maybe a double bottom, but I would say between 60 and 75 are still good DCAs. It's a very bullish chart. I would like to see a drop down, but honestly, it looks like it wants to continue.
And what about a AAA cat? You think
Yeah.
this is an ape right now?
I
It's
mean,
hard to
honestly,
buy something that's just up only, right? But
yeah, honestly, I would, I'll echo what you said. I mean, I'm down for DCAing now, and then aping back again at 5. So just straight DCA. But I like the cat theme, especially this bull run. Cats have been a big thing, at least for me, in my opinion. So I like that about this one. Let me just really quickly pull in the RSI here. Yeah, I mean, let's see. This is looking slightly bearish. If we break trend, I think because you see this, just give me a second. There is a trend here, so it respects this trend. It respects this one. It respects this one again. It's respecting this one, right? But if we just made a higher low here. If we don't make a higher high, then yeah, I see this coming back down, almost like a head and shoulder, which could bring us back to like to 5. We do that. Yeah. I don't know about
so
3.
0.68,
Yeah.
0.618.
Yeah, I would say the 0.618 overall. But again, if we keep respecting this trend here, it's worth a punt to buy back on this trend and then, maybe continue back up. But I mean, again, people want to take profits. This is, again, it's still early, but maybe a retest here and then, continue to go to the upside. It just, it just depends also on the market, but I'm liking this one a lot.
The other one I liked, it's the Trinity, right? AAA cat, FUD, and then check out Blub.
Blub. How do you spell Blub?
This was the biggest meme coin on SUI until I think this past week. We had another one we're going to go into after this.
All right. So let's look. Wow. All right. So this one's 38 million market cap, which I believe is higher than FUD.
Yeah, it was the biggest. FUD was at 11 million, and while this thing hit 30 million, and it's caught up.
All right, so let's see. It went to all-time high market cap at about 50 million market cap. That's a runner. I mean,
Yeah,
and this is
crazy
50.
chart, like just very clean. Any dip you bought, you made money up until when it hit 50 million.
So this one's a perfect example of it breaking trend. Do you see that? I mean, we had the respecting, respecting again, came back in. We made the lower low. So I could argue the same thing with possibly FUD and AAA. We're making higher or lower highs. So that's what it did here, and it wouldn't surprise me if we hit the 618, right? And the 618 kind of perfectly aligns with the support region here, right? You see we have our all-time high here. So, hold on. So, all right, I just caught something here really quick. So you see this chart, right? We made a higher high here, and then we came back down below the resistance. Remember Doji?
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, it's almost quite uncanny, right? Make a higher high, we came back in, resistance, and then it can continue to rip. Just something to keep in mind. But anyway, I can see this one retesting the 618. Absolutely. We did break trend, so I wouldn't be surprised if we keep coming down.
Check out the website. I mean, this is the only reason I was bullish on it is because it was the biggest meme. And basically what we're trying to find here with these three is which one's going to go to a billion. And I mean, we don't have to bet on one, right? We could bet on all three, but which one are you gonna bet more on?
I mean, I'll tell you. You give me yours, I'll give you mine. AAA is a winner for me. What's yours?
I think I'd either FUD or AAA, but I could see Blub doing it too. I mean, if they got to 50 million, there's obviously something people like there. Now there's one more that we got to get into. That's Hippo on SUI. After Blub.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some good followers here. A dirty fish in the waters of the SUI. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because the SUI logo is like a water drop, so like a lot of them go with that.
So this one came out. Oh wow, this one did some damage within a month.
This is the type of stuff we were seeing on Solana earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
And people see this, they see this on their timeline. They're either gonna try to go into the trenches or they're gonna bet on the winners. Like usually you do well betting on the winners and you get just chopped up trying to
one of the things I'm not seeing here is the amount of holders.
I don't even know how they track that on SUI.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the fact that Dex Screener doesn't have the holders, but then when I go on Dex Tools, we don't have SUI, right? So it's kind of annoying there. But Dex Tools does have. I'll maybe check crypto. Was it iBird, right? To see the count of that. But the one last thing, I'm gonna before I give you the screen. One of the things that we do want to look at is, keep these three on your list, on your radar, and as soon as we see a dip right on SUI. Because SUI just did some crazy gains, and I was just looking at the chart here.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. If we should take a look at SUI to see, like, are we going to get a dip on SUI, and that way, we buy our SUI cheaper, and then we get in lower on these memes.
Yeah, funny enough, I mean, this is the, as I was mentioning earlier, we did a bearish retest, right? So we're looking at the 4-hour time frame, and I mean, this one absolutely ripped. So let me just get on the bigger time frames, which I think in this case, and this one's looking very similar to, what was it? What's the fish again? Blub. I mean, look at that. We were respecting. We dropped. We did a retest, and that's the bearish retest, right? And let's just zoom out. I mean, we could have a pullback to the 0.5, but like I said, it's a bullish chart. But
I don't know if we get that because, I mean, maybe they do have the unlocks, but it's got a lot of momentum.
What do you know when the unlocks are by any chance? Off the top of your head, if not, it's fine.
I think there's a big one this month that might have already happened.
Then
that's probably what this is. It's probably what this is.
Yeah. So in terms, you see that there's a lot of support here. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit the 0.5 and then we continue to rip. just to maybe possibly complete that shoulder, head, and shoulder, right? Which could take us, and I mean, this is going to be a crazy
And we
prediction.
need SUI to do
Target.
well for these memes to do well.
Exactly. So I mean,
They're leverage SUI.
we could see this at about $4, but I want to go back to this one really quick, and then go back to Blub. Yeah, so bearish, right? There's a lot of bearish divergence. We kept making higher highs, and the RSI we kept making lower lows, right? And that's obviously that's a bearish sign. If you guys wanted to short, this was a perfect retest to short, and you may see 0.5. But remember that
150.
Yeah, 150. But look, I mean, it's uncanny. Look at that blue. You see? And this is a 4-hour time frame as well. We kept respecting. Then we dumped. Clearly here we didn't do the retest, but I think SUI, this one's following SUI very closely, as opposed to
they all should. Like once they get big enough, leverage.
Exactly. Yeah. But this one to me is very similar to SUI. So, I wouldn't be surprised again if we see one more dump as SUI dumps, and then this could be an ape. But okay, going back to my main point, for everybody that's new or watching the channel, if you guys, I mean, these are great coins. I know you'll get to Hippo, but before we get there, keep an eye on these and keep notifications, because once they dip and we do see the resurgence of Bitcoin and SUI, these are going to do some insane numbers. Yeah, and I've seen this happen in the past with other, in Base. I've seen this in Solana. So keep that in mind. I'll definitely be watching these for that pullback. But yeah, I mean, DCAing now wouldn't be a bad idea. I would wait a little longer before I start buying.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a look at Hippo. What do you think of this one? This one went just crazy.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
It came out of nowhere and just became the top meme on. I mean, what? It came out on the 28th. It came out a week ago, and now it's over 1
So here's the thing. This is funny. This is Sudang. The other one is Mudang, right? Mudang is on Solana, and they made, I think this is the dad Sudang.
It's the same meme, just they put it on SUI with the S.
But I mean, this lines up with. This is typical cup and handle. As if you go back to all the other ones, they all ripped of that cup and handle. But Mudang is looking out of this world. I can't believe this one did it. That blows. But this is a week and it hit 140 million market cap. That's insane.
Now, is this the one that has what it takes to get to that billion?
In terms of what is currently happening in the momentum, right? We had Mudang early September, and then we have the parent, I'm assuming, Sudang. This one has a lot of momentum to continue. No cats, no dog. It could be the new alpha, right? It could be, we usually have cats, dogs, maybe.
Or is it a one-off and like do the OGs like FUD and Blub? Is this like a preview of what they're gonna do?
So remember when we were looking at the Base ecosystem, and there were a lot of OGs, right? Toshi, we had Mochi, and we had a bunch of them. But then Brett came out later, and then it obliterated all of them. There is potential. There is potential on this one, but it's hard to say right now. To be honest with you, there's like 4 or 5 meme coins we have here.
It's definitely broken the uptrend. Like it's going sideways now. It's lost momentum in terms of like the trend, right? Like it's now ranging.
Yeah, I mean, we are making lower highs on the bigger time frames. So it's perfect, right? We bumped, we did the retest on the support, and then we just continue to rip. I would say let's watch how this plays out. 121 million market cap, again, blows my mind that we had that in about a week. But it seems like it didn't take any market share from AAA.
Yeah, that's why they say it's like PVE, like player versus environment, instead of player versus player, because when you have the flows coming in, there's just constant new money, chasing these plays, which is what you need for everything to go up. If you don't have new money, then it's just like rotations from one to another.
Right, but people really like, this is looking slightly bearish. Let's see. All right, so I'll give you my opinion on this one. we could be doing something like this, respecting trend, maybe see it back into 1 cent, maybe 0.009 cents. And then this could be almost like a flag, right? Um, and then, yeah. Yeah, we could see this continue to rip. They're all looking bullish. Again, it just depends on how low we. And one of the things that I'm going to do research on is the amount of holders. I do want to see the amount of holders on all of these. Who's accumulating, who's gaining holders, and then also just to keep in mind if we're dipping right now, just to keep an eye on that, right? Who's holding stronger, who's not, who's having a bigger sell off. But to me, all four of these look very independent. I don't see rotation happening, right?
Yeah.
And the SUI ecosystem in general looks strong. So those are my 2 cents. I like these. I'm gonna rank them as AAA number 1. I'd say Blub just because it's the OG number 2, number 3 Hippo, and number 4 FUD. That's my ranking. What's your ranking?
I mean, I just have the top 3. I don't know about Hippo. I think if I get a discount, like maybe a retrace to like 80 million, and the chart looks good, I'll consider buying. But I'll probably just buy all 3. I'll probably buy the biggest bag of the cat though, the AAA cat.
So one thing
How do they get 100,000 followers in a week, man? It's crazy.
Exactly. So this is another thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a CTO takeover too, so it's even more mega bullish, right? But yeah, this is nuts. I can't believe that there is 116. I mean, this could be the Brett of SUI. Now that I'm looking at this,
that's what I'm saying. And if you buy it at 100 mil, I mean, that's still like a 10x.
A 10x, yeah. This is tough, man. The Sudang of yeah, it's tough. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, no. What about you? I mean, these are great finds, and I hope our viewers are going to take some note of these, and eventually not financial advice, but maybe get a bag.
Yeah, I think we can. So that covers the SUI ecosystem. I think my what I'm trying to find next is like what's the next SUI, right? What's going to be the next ecosystem that is able to track flows, that's able to build, enticing market like these memes for the degens to come play, right? That's kind of what I want to look at next.
All right.
So I'll take over real quick.
Yeah. So share your screen again.
And I think to me, so SUI is
there you go.
They came, if you know the story about SUI, they came out of the Libra project, which was in Facebook or Meta. And the team that was working there developed this language called the Move language, right? And basically, they got shut down by the government. Those teams broke off into 3 other teams that became SUI, which is what we were just covering. Aptos. I think it was just those 2, SUI and Aptos. I don't know if Say is the other one I was thinking of, but I don't know if they use Move language. So SUI we kind of already talked about, so we'll skip that one. And then Aptos is another one. I'm going to do more research on like what's going on, if they're getting flows, if they're building projects. But this guy's saying Aptos is trading above the Q4 open. If it manages to flip the yearly open to support, upside will be relatively straightforward. So I don't know if I buy this yet, but it's a candidate that has, they have the same tech as SUI. Maybe they're not executing as strongly on like partnerships and getting people on their chain, but again, you got to look forward of like what's next. And I think it's very similar to SUI, right? Like you had this huge run up when it first came out in January.
Wow, that's
a massive dump.
Yeah.
I mean, just obliterated, down 80%, and then again a crazy run up, right? Up 300% through March when the market peaked, down another 80%, right? And now we're kind of breaking trend again. If you look at what SUI did, it's a very similar price action, and they're both new L1s, like new VC backed L1s. So SUI, well, SUI's only in their second run, right? So maybe that's like a point against Aptos. But yeah, what do you think of this chart,
No,
Alex?
no,
You think,
that's all right. First, you said the language is move.
yeah, the
All
tech.
right, the text. So can you for our viewers, can you kind of talk about that if you have a good understanding of what that is?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's the language that the programming language, right? There's like
Mm-hmm.
JavaScript, there's Python. There's like traditional programming languages, and
Yeah.
then because these are blockchains, they have programming languages that are native to them that enable the smart contracts to get created.
Mm-hmm.
And Ethereum, obviously the most popular language, EVM, which is programmed in Solidity,
Mm-hmm.
and that's basically every like the first major newer ones were kind of also EVM, so similar tech to Ethereum, like AVAX, BNB, uh, you know, Matic. Most of the L2s are EVM.
Yeah.
So Move is kind of like the new kid on the block, like trying to improve on that tech.
Yeah. So thank you for that. I didn't know that, but yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. If it's a new toy, we got to understand that new toys like to run, right? And one of the things that we haven't heard much is, well, I don't know if you've heard memes on Aptos, right?
Exactly.
So this could be early. I mean, that's a great breakout. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, and that's a nice cup and handle too. So
Yeah, I'm
it's
gonna set an alert here on any pullbacks.
yeah. I mean, it would be worth looking into some Aptos meme coins, and which one has been the biggest one, which one is the I'm looking at it right now. There's a few. There's like a meme called Donk at a 2.2 million market cap. This is a good opportunity because if we have SUI ripping with their memes, why isn't Aptos the next one? I mean, you make a good point. If we're looking for the next big ones, it's worth having a few bags in the Aptos ecosystem and
Yeah,
being ahead of the curve. So no, I'm with you there. That's a good one.
because the way it works is the L1 catches a bid first, right? And in
Yeah.
this case, you saw SUI. This is against Bitcoin. Starts to really move in August, and then the really aggressive move was in September, right? But you had some time between, uh, when you first saw this initial move. It's kind of like if we look at where the Aptos chart is, like it's at this breakout point right here, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. You got
if
it.
you got into the memes here, and you could probably look back at the charts in early September, and you're like, okay, like Sui's looking really bullish against Bitcoin. Let me just, I mean, I'll buy some Sui, but actually, let me leverage my Sui and bet on the memes, because if I think this is going to outperform Bitcoin, it's going to outperform the market. The memes are about to go crazy, and we're trying to front run that a bit with. It could be Aptos, right? We have to do a little bit more research on are they going to be able to track those flows. From a chart perspective, it looks like it's at a similar spot where Sui was in September. So that's kind of my thesis there. I'm going to do a little bit more research on what's going on in the ecosystem. But these guys, one of the things that I saw when Sui started running is they started announcing partnerships. And this partnership with Franklin Templeton, their TradFi money manager, they announced a partnership with Aptos, their first on-chain money market fund. So I think if you see one announcement like this, like the BD team is cooking, I think you're gonna have more announcements. So it just tells you they're building out their ecosystem, right? Like they didn't just build an L1 and hope people would come. Like they're reaching out to TradFi, they're closing deals. So that's one to keep an eye on, one to look into. The other one that I like is Say. I don't know if their move language also, but I know they're a new new L1, and this guy says he likes the setup. I had been looking at this one earlier too. Aptos is one I just started looking at recently, but Say is another one I'm definitely looking for an entry on, and I think really really beautiful like breakout here
The
after.
retest is perfect. I mean, we were talking about that yesterday. That retest was about, we're looking at 38. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if the fib hit the point 0.5 or the 0.618, But that one, I mean, we can get another double bottom on this one on the 4 hour maybe, and then it's gone. It's gone.
what do you mean on the 4 hour? Like
So if you go to the 4 hour time frame, um, yeah, and then expand it a little bit, yeah, and then pull the fib from the impulse.
this one?
Yep, yeah, that's it. So what did we hit? The 618, right? There you go. Just like clockwork.
Yeah, 0.5618.
Yeah. So it would be nice to see a double bottom to then ape, but yesterday we were talking about it. This one has tons of potential, but this is gone. I mean, we literally just did the retest. Yeah, I'm bullish.
Yeah, I think like you zoom out again, like SUI is giving us a preview. What could happen with these new L1s? Like
Yeah, look at that.
aggressive
Yeah,
downtrend. Then you get this accumulation phase right here, right? Fake out once, twice, get everyone bearish. We're back in, and then bam, that's the real move. So if we look at Say, very similar price
here.
action.
So do this. Do you see where you have up above the Bitcoin on the right? Oh yeah, go up to watch list.
Yeah.
So go scroll up to watch list. Yeah, there you go. So go up above that box. You see that little box above watch list? No, the box above watch list. Yeah, no, left, that one. Click on that one, and then go to that one, and then
Yeah,
there you go.
nice. Both
Now
both
click
are
on
done.
one, and then put in Sui on that one, and then put Say on the other one.
Yeah, so this is
Just
so
type.
this one's
You can
gonna be
just type it.
Say.
You can just type it. It'll pop up.
Yeah,
Look at that, uncanny.
aggressive downtrend. You start uh accumulation zone right
Yeah,
here.
and the retest.
Not as many fake outs on this one, but you didn't really get a retest on. Well, yeah, you didn't get a retest on Sui as much, right? It just kind
Yeah,
of went.
yeah. Sui just did kind of like a shoulder, head, and shoulder, and this one is doing the retest on the support. But still, I mean, those charts are looking similar, and I'm sure if you put Aptos around there, it's probably going to look the same.
Yeah, exactly. So Say is another one. You can start looking into the ecosystem, or we're going to. But I think, yeah, now that you mentioned the fib, I think I'm gonna have to front run things a bit here.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm looking for potential. I mean, this is a potential because we just right now Bitcoin just did a hit on the 786 from the last pump. But like I said, we could have that double bottom. Hopefully, the 4 hour is being rejected by the 21 MA on Bitcoin, so we may have a double bottom, and that may be the last chance to really get into the alts. So go there. I would say if you want, you can start DCA now, and then any bottom, ape again.
I think that could have been it, man. Like we retested the mid here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, there's just I don't see a case for us going too much lower, but just depends on the news, right? But I think
Yeah,
as long as you got Bitcoin kind of chilling out here slowly, not dumping too hard, I think memes, new L1s, it's time to go risk on mode, I think. And
yeah,
it's time to really start making some bets.
yeah. I mean, like I said, we were looking at total 3 yesterday, and for the last few days, really, we hit the target that we wanted, and now we just hit about 590. So 30 billion came into the market for alts. People are liking right now where we're at with Bitcoin and alts, and it, TA wise, we did the retest and we're looking good. So yeah, I mean, this could be it. We could continue to rip, and it's game over from here.
Yeah,
Game
I
over
think
as
that
in rip. Yeah, you see how beautiful that is? Look at that. Perfect
retest.
retest, and then we go on.
Yeah, let's see where the monthly open is here. I believe. No, that was so we bounce off last month's open. I think once you get above here, like that to me is a confirmed bullish, but
Yeah.
definitely seeing the signs. So I think everything looks good, man. Is there anything else you wanted to cover?
No. I think maybe for next time we'll talk about some of the memes on SUI and apt. So guys, if you want to know what the alpha is, make sure to come back and check us out tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I think that's a wrap.
All right. You guys have a
Peace.
great day. Make sure to